They're saying, well, this falls, we're moving to Argentina. I believe the people running Israel are going to sacrifice it and blow it up. We're part of building the world government out of that crisis and out of the false flags to become the true system of control. And Israel's already backstopping in Ukraine and in Argentina. I heard this years ago, didn't believe it. Now I've watched all these Israeli leaders say, well, this falls, we're moving to Argentina and to the new Israel that is Ukraine. That strangely enough, Stalin looked at making part of Ukraine a Jewish homeland in another area north of Georgia. This crazy town. We got Chicoms and AI and New World Order and the UN globalists cooking up the next virus to deal with. And Netanyahu's heavily involved in all that, saying Israel has a national health service. We're going to make everybody take all the new vaccines and mRNA and we'll be the guinea pigs. He said Israel will be your guinea pig. What? And again, the Zionists, it's on record since World War II, wouldn't let any Jews get out of Germany or Europe unless they paid the money to the Zionists, who would then pay Hitler 2/3 of it. They kept the third. And the founders of Israel are famous quotes saying, we don't let any Jews get out of Europe if they don't come here. A cow in Palestine is worth more than all the Jews in Europe. That's a quote. And Madeleine Albright's dad was the high-level George Soros. He was a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid finding where Jews were because he was Jewish and ratting them out to the Nazis. He's called a bloodhound. He's low-level. He's like a private. Up at the top of it, you had Madeleine Albright's dad, who was one of the main Zionists collecting the equivalent of trillions from Jews. And a lot of times they double-crossed them and wouldn't let them get out. And they came out on 60 Minutes like 15 years ago. She was doing a 60 Minutes interview. And there's this famous painting, it's worth like $100 million, this Jewish guy did. And they saw other Jewish stolen paintings. And they were like, wait a minute, the family's like, that's my grandmother's thing, everything. And they grabbed their money, sent them to death camps.
I ain't gonna go into the rest because, this guy be half-assing. But first I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And the reason why I want to do this is because, that guy Jones, sometimes he be saying things on point, sometimes he just exaggerate. But you can clearly tell right now, he's distancing himself from those group of individuals, which he always at one time was trying to protect. Especially when the Epstein file thing came about. And his callers, and everybody was asking about it, and he refused to talk about it because he said he don't know how true it is, and this, that, and the third. But now, since he lost InfoWar, he's spilling he's spilling the guts, spilling the tea, however they say today. But the point of the matter is the wicked, and then how they trying to escape, period. And it's not just them that's in that land, the ones that's on top, the ones that he refused to speak of. All right, not no mid-level, not no low-level, talking about the top of the food chain that he refused to talk about. And it's biblical. It's really biblical that they're trying to escape, that they try to have that land destroyed or whatever, and trying to escape the punishment. This is why when it comes down to this whole peace treaty thing, it can never be peace, because the people that's I'm doing it, they're not peaceful beings, period. It's not in their nature to understand that the concept of peace. These are blood, and it's not just talking about the rats that wear the small hats, a whole lot of them. Look at America. America has been, out of 250 years, majority of the years America has been around, it's always been at war. All right? This is part of Esau's MO. This is a part of his part of his spirit. All right? This is who he is. Matter of fact, let me get it. Revelation 6:4. It says, and they went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him. Now the power that was given unto him was given. That's why you gotta know the scriptures. And understand the scriptures, you have to understand. I mean, to understand anything in the scriptures, you got to read the scriptures. And that's the blessing that Isaac gave unto Esau. All right. Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. All right. His blessing was that fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, meaning they would have air control. They could put their satellites up in space, what we call space today. All right. They got the best parts of the earth, but the main course, other than their deception, was their sword. They are the number one arms dealers on the planet Earth. They are the agents of death. This is why they have organizations called the WHO, which is World Health Organization. The United States have the CDC, the Central Disease Control, where they get all the disease in the world and modify and repurpose it. It's in their blood, it's in their spirit to be this volatile, inbred demons, all right, that bring nothing but pain and suffering to the world. It says, power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So they don't know no peace. They don't understand the concept of peace. Peace to them is like a vampire that fears garlic. You know? They don't understand that concept. So everything that they do with these treaties, when one side wants to do something and they decided, nope, we want more. They attack Lebanon again. I was watching something this morning. They ferociously attacked Lebanon. And why are they doing that for? Because they the fire starters, and America carries it on. And they're destined. And then here's the fun fact for a lot of people that don't know. A lot of these rats that wear small hats that we call them, they know they're Edomites. They know America is Babylon. They know America is going to be destroyed. And they're using Babylon so that way Babylon could be destroyed. And they could scare their asses anywhere else. This is why you've mentioned Argentina. Argentina was one of the nations that spoke against saying that the transatlantic slave trade was the worst possible thing that could ever happen. They were the ones that agreed with Israel and the United States of America. Why? Because they've been infiltrated for years. And this is why, was it Chile? Maybe Chile. No, Chile's in the, but Argentina I know, and there was another nation, I can't remember off the top. There was a lot of wildfires that was going on, and the people that was causing the wildfires because of a legislation that if there was a natural disaster in these particular areas, that the land would be cheaper. So they was purposely going out there burning down. Slovakia. The ultimate plan is to destroy, to reset everything. Okay, the elites are here to reset everything. So read on. It says, "And that they should kill one another, and it was given unto him a great sword." And that great sword is this ICBM nuclear missiles. That's the ultimate sword. Salakia. I don't know. So the Lord it's going to be hunting season for the wicked. And they're going to try to escape that punishment. But they won't. All right? The elites, they're going to escape. But the rest of them are not. Matter of fact, real quick. I don't know if this is going to go through because the mic was off. Job 20 and... Oh. Job 20, I'm just going to the point. 24, it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bolt of steel shall strike him through. So who's going to flee from the iron weapon? The elites, the top notch. All right, those that sit in the power seat. They're going to escape. They're going to run with their tails tucked under their ass. All right, and they're doing this deliberately. They're doing this purposely. Their purpose of doing this is to escape the wrath of the Lord that's going to come upon them. That's the purpose. But they believe that they're going to come on top. They believe that when the ash is clear, they're going to be able to rule the world to come. Henceforth, their everlasting kingdom. This is their wet dream. But what they don't understand is that the Lord is preserving them for that set peril, for that set destruction. All right? So they could dig into hell. They could do whatever the fuck they think they're going to do. They're not going to escape the wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Though they hide themselves in top of caramel, I will search and will take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent and shall bite them. Now, it just kind of crossed my mind. I hope I don't have to do this again, but if I do, I'll just do it. But it crossed my mind because of the simple fact is they never had the ability to go under the sea. And I'm talking about the other nations. So that's another proof that this is talking about the modern day Egyptians, the modern day Babylonians, and so forth, those that rule the world, the Edomites. All right, they have all these abilities to escape the wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and there's no escaping the Lord. All right, and it says Isaiah. I'll end it off on this 24 and 21. It says, it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. So the kings of the earth are the people that wear the small hat. The kings of the earth are the people that bringing all this hell to the planet earth. And the Lord is going to make them pay for that. They're going to suffer for what they've done to the earth. They're going to suffer for what they've done throughout the whole four corners of the earth. All right? Guaranteed. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.